Hello everyone, it's time to make a video about those defending Laughing Witch and what she did to Thunderfoot. There's quite a few of them. I managed to narrow it down to 4. So, a little recap for those of you who don't know what went on. Basically, Laughing Witch and a few others organised a letter writing campaign to get Thunderfoot fired from his job because apparently he associated himself with these people over in the Czech Republic that he works with, and apparently that's wrong. He needs to be fired, even though he didn't really associate himself with them. He just said, I work as a researcher. He didn't really say who he researched for as such, but he disagreed with them, therefore he has to be fired. And also they accused him of being a Nazi sympathiser and a Holocaust denier, which in the Czech Republic can get you imprisoned from 1 to 5 years in jail. Yes, in some European countries you can be jailed for having such views. As absurd as it sounds, the history runs quite deep. So, she eventually got a backlash, but spurred on mainly by Thunderfoot's great videos rebutting her at every turn, to the point where at one point in his video he showed where she worked. Now, you all know my opinion if you've seen my video. I think he should have blurred out things, he should have censored things, but the truth of the matter is, she doxed herself. She made these details open to the public in a video, since deleted, and now she's paying the price for putting her and her business and her employees and hell, her boss, her husband, at risk. Because, the internet doesn't forget, and they found where she worked on their Yelp page, I think it was. So now she's deleted her Twitter account and her YouTube account in an attempt to damage control this situation and wait for it all to blow over before making videos again. That's my opinion on the matter. That's what I think she deleted it for. And basically is conducting from the sidelines her friends, especially Kevin Logan, to defend her and to damage control the situation. And this is what this video is about. This is about 4 people, Kevin Logan amongst them, who have been defending her actions and trying to basically smear Thunderfoot, as they usually do, because they've been cornered and now they need to try and fight back to get out of that corner. So everyone, let's get stuck into it. And the first person that we shall be taking a look at and debunking is the one and only Zenistrad1. Now, Zenistrad, he's the nicest person on this list of people that I've noticed trying to defend Laughing Witch, but nonetheless it's his actions that I take issue with. I don't care about his personality so much. And I was notified by this by none other than Aldous Valor, who's done his own video about Kevin Logan, but I'm doing it about quite a few of them, so this is going to be longer. So this is in a video by Christy Winters. I've not seen the video. I'm not really going to put that one in due to time issues. I don't want to make a very long video, or it might end up becoming long, but that's besides the point. But she is included in this list because of her comments in the comment section, this thread. And this is in response to a person called Nicasia, I think, if I've got the name right. And Nicasia is obviously the anti-social justice warrior. And I've just basically snapped Zenistrad's replies, because a lot of what Nicasia said was included in his comments, at least half of them. So without further ado, let's start with Zenistrad. And he says, at Nicasia, or Nicasia, whoever it is, he used information she had allowed people to see, so the fault there is hers. This is what Nicasia says to him. Well, no, because Thunderfoot was the one who displayed that information to his almost 400k subscribers. Thunderfoot subscribers would have almost certainly never have seen the information were it not for him. Now, this is what they always use throughout this. They use references to the fact that Thunderfoot has 400,000 subscribers and Laughing Witch does not. I don't know how many she had because she never showed them. I reckon she had about close to a couple hundred to 1,000. Who knows? And apparently, just because Thunderfoot has loads of subscribers, that is in itself a problem, because they're his hate army, as they like to call them. Hate army. I'm part of a hate army now, am I? And who knows, maybe they wouldn't have seen it without him. But you do realise that some people probably would have seen Laughing Witch's video where she basically doxes herself. I know most of them wouldn't have touched her videos with a 10-foot pole, but some of them certainly would have seen it. Because we know what the truth is, Zenistrad is. The truth is that she doxed herself. She put those details out in the public, and Thunderfoot simply used publicly known details and information. It's her own fault, but apparently it's his fault. He did it because he has 400k subscribers and he put it in his video. Not only that, it was posted in context that implies or encourages intimidation. Citation needed. He never once said it in his video. I watched it twice just to make sure he didn't say anything like that, and he didn't. It was a warning to her. He said, "This is what happens when you try to do what you did to me. Be careful what you wish for, you might just get it." Because she was the one going around on YouTube saying, "Oh, I just sent a letter campaign to Thunderfoot. Oh, you can try and get me fired, but it's not going to happen. I'm my own boss." Well, look what's happened. Look what's happened, Zenistrad. And you wonder why. And finally he says, doxing is defined by how the information is used, not how it is obtained. That's a load of bullshit. Doxing is defined by how it is obtained as well as how it is used. Doxing is illegally obtained information that is spread illegally across the internet. You don't dox someone by accident. You don't dox someone legally. If that person doesn't want their personal details on the internet and suddenly finds their personal details on the internet, that's illegal. That is illegal. That is obtaining information illegally to be spread illegally. But never mind. Anyway, people, let's move on, people. Okay, people, this is the next section. And Zenistrad is again replying to Nicasia. And Nicasia says, so her actions showing the email of where he worked, the local police, etc. was okay because she only had a few subscribers. And Zenistrad says, I don't think that what she said she did was okay. In fact, I'm opposed to it. Feel free to put more words in my mouth, though. No, Zenistrad, you apparently are not opposed to it because you seem to be defending her actions. What is it with these people saying, well, I don't agree with what she said. I don't agree with what she did. But I think she had to do it. I think it was important that she did it because Zenistrad, Thunderfoot is just a terrible person and he needs to be stopped. You see, when we do that, when us defending Thunderfoot saying this, we literally say we do not agree with this. But we can understand why he did it. We don't think he should have done it. We think he should have done some things differently, but we understand why he did it. But you guys aren't saying that. You guys are saying that she should have done it. In a way, you're implying that she should have done it and you're defending her actions. We're simply defending Thunderfoot's character here. We're trying to show what Laughing Witch did was wrong. But never mind. Anyway, it continues, and this is Nicasia. She had been trying to get him fired and arrested. Her intent was purely malicious. She didn't care if she ruined his life. All because she has free speech. Well, by that token, so does Thunderfoot. And in this case, he used it. Should he have done so? Probably not. But then it's hardly fair that she should use such tactics and never face consequences from them. Those who live by the sword die by the sword. And then Zenistrad says, 2 wrongs do not make a right. This is something that we teach preschoolers, and yet somehow Thunderfoot is not mature enough to understand it. Now, Zenistrad, I'm going to give you an analogy here. I'm going to give you some kind of hypothetical situation. You're at a bar and you've been drinking. You're not that drunk, but you're just happily there, and then you get up and you walk somewhere, and then someone bumps into you and they become aggressive with you, even though it wasn't your fault, and then one thing leads to another, and they punch you in the face and you punch them back. That's 2 wrongs don't make a right, but this is what we mean. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. That person was Laughing Witch, basically writing to Thunderfoot's employers and trying to get him arrested because, as we know, Holocaust denial and Nazi sympathies are illegal in the Czech Republic. And you punching back is Thunderfoot with that little section of his video where he shows where she works. It's understandable that he would retaliate in such a manner. He probably shouldn't have, but it's understandable. It's self-defense. That's what we're saying. And let's just say in this hypothetical situation, you battered this guy so much with that one punch, he ended up on the floor really hurt because maybe he banged his head on a table or something. But he's alive. He's nothing, luckily no brain damage or anything. He just got a bloody nose and a smack to the face from the impact, and he's scared. He decides to run away, or he's kicked out, but then you have to leave too. But Thunderfoot hasn't left, but that's what would happen in real life. That is what's happened here. We won't agree with what you did, but we would understand why you did it. Self-defense. Maybe the adult thing is to maybe not fight back and just get the bouncers to take care of him. Or, Laughing Witch, maybe get YouTube to say you can't be doing this to people. This is not right. Yeah, Thunderfoot is mature enough to understand this, but he retaliated because she tried to end his livelihood. She tried to get him arrested, to silence him, because that's the only way she can do it. She can't do it through academic debate, Zenistrad. But, let's continue, because I've gone on long enough. And the Cassia says, she knew he had more subscribers when she attacked him, so she knew she was running risks, that one of his followers may find out things about her. Either way, she put the info out there for public view, so it's her fault. And Zenistrad says, she didn't put it up with the intention that someone would track it down and use it for the purpose of intimidation. So she's an idiot, is that what you're saying, Zenistrad? Nobody puts out their personal details without the knowledge that this could happen to them. You put it out there on the internet with a risk. My name is on my Twitter feed. Hell, my name is even in some of my early videos. I knew I was running the risk of people Googling my name and finding out where I live, where I work, who I am. But I'm not afraid of them, and that's why I'm doing it. I'm taking that risk every single day I log on to Twitter. And every day I log on to YouTube. Because people know my name. People have said it in streams. You can go find my name, probably. I'm not giving you permission, but I can't stop you. Anyway, let's continue. When we're talking about whose fault it is for any given wrongdoing, the culpability always lies on the person whose actions are both necessary and sufficient to cause that wrongdoing. So Laughing Witch is at fault then? Is that what you're saying? Because she was the one who hit first. She was the one who tried to end his job, to ruin his life, to get his livelihood. Because that's what you do when you attack men on the internet. You don't go for their gender, you go for their job. You go for their livelihoods. You go for the thing that makes them who they are. You put them in jail even. Is that what you're saying, Zenistrad? Laughing Witch putting her information up publicly is neither necessary nor sufficient for her to be doxed. Maybe not, but she still put it up there. You cannot deny it. Stop trying to play it down. She doxed herself. She doxed herself. It might not necessarily be needed for her to be doxed, but she did it. Thunderfoot would not have found out where she worked if she had not done it in that video. Just admit that, Zenistrad. She could still have her information shared maliciously by Thunderfoot. And he does a typo there. He gave me quite a few hiccups. Yeah, that could have happened. But it wouldn't have been by Thunderfoot because he hasn't got a history of doxing. He hasn't got a history of making people dox for him. She made that in public. Therefore, it's okay for him to use it. It's not right for him to do it, but he can use it. And he did. He did it to show the error of her ways. And it worked. He should have censored things. He probably shouldn't have done it anyway, but I can understand why, because he got punched in the face. Metaphorically speaking, of course, Zenistrad, but you don't understand that. Anyway, he ends it with, what is both necessary and sufficient for her to be doxed is that someone track her information down and post it maliciously. No! No! People could dox themselves. She doxed herself. By accident. She put her name up there. She put her place of work up there as well. And that is why she deleted the video, because she knew she made a mistake. She doxed herself when she was showing herself sending those emails to Thunderfoot. We know who she is now. We know who she is. And no matter how many videos she made showing her face, it doesn't change the fact that she doxed herself, and Thunderfoot was using that information that she had put out there by herself, which means he can use it. It's not doxing then from Thunderfoot's perspective, is it? Period. And now this is going to happen a lot. We're going to see the same old arguments, which is why I have, but obviously they're the same arguments worded differently, and some of them may have different ways of doing it. But we may be repeating ourselves throughout this video, so forgive me if I found making the same arguments, because they do have the same thing. It's literally like a rule book. Okay, this is what we have to say, this is what we do for damage control, people. Anyway, we must move on to the next Zenistrad comments. Now, the first one kind of, I don't know what that was in response to, but the next 2 and 3 we can definitely discuss. So here we go. Number 2, I agree it's understandable, Thunderfoot's actions. He wasn't saying that before though, but understandable doesn't mean that it's okay, does it? We never said that. Nobody ever said it was okay. Some of us disagree with what he did, others think that it was fine, tit for tat. I would argue that the death penalty is understandable in that it satisfies desires for revenge, but that's kind of irrelevant to discussion of whether we should have a death penalty. Stop with the non sequitur, Zenistrad. That is not a good analogy, okay? How have we gone from death penalty to and whether or not Thunderfoot did or did not dox her, which really shouldn't be, of any issue. It's understandable. Doesn't make it right, but it's understandable. It's like punching someone in the face for them punching you back, Zenistrad. That's what it basically is, isn't it, people? Number 3, of course it's a risk, but that doesn't mean the consequences are ethically justified. I guess the risk is showing each other's information, I guess. I don't know. I'm not talking about how someone can protect themselves from being targeted. I'm talking about moral responsibility. What is moral about this? What do you mean moral? What she did wasn't morally right, trying to basically take away Thunderfoot's job from him just because he disagreed with her, because she didn't like him. That's not morally right. Boo was debating me, saying that I'm apparently going around like I'm some kind of moral arbiter or something. No projection there. Yet here's someone from fucking social justice land doing the thing that I was accused of. No, I'm saying maybe it wasn't moral for Thunderfoot to do so, but you can understand why he did it. But still, who doxed themselves? It wasn't Thunderfoot. And anyway, people, that's it from Zenistrad. We now move on to Christy Winters, which is where these comments come from. Boy. Just you wait. Now, we've left the Thetan-headed idiot that is Zenistrad, and now we go to the actual video owner, Christy Winters. And this is actually only one screenshot, because as far as I know, this is the only comment that she did on this. As far as I know, I had the entire thread. So basically, she is another one defending Laughing Witch, mainly because she's an actual female feminist defending another one of the sisterhood. We've got basically 2 white knights and 2 feminists. So this is the first of the true feminists, And yes, I use that ironically. I'm not no true Scotsman in here. And basically, it's what you expect. So, let's get stuck into it. Christy says, in response to my man Aldous Fowler, he doxed her company's Yelp page and encouraged his followers to go there and leave fraudulent reviews. Reviews that are being taken down by Yelp for being faked and trying to harm the business. Well, Christy, I don't think you quite understand how making and running a business works. A lot of what makes people go to your business is that you are nice and courteous and respect your consumers and customers, because look what happened to the games industry. Well, the games media. They've never quite recovered from treating their audience with the disdain that they did when Gamergate first blew up. They haven't recovered. And this is what happens. This is happening to Laughing Witch. Her actions on the internet has negatively affected her business. Remember, she doxed herself. Sure, a lot of them may be fraudulent, maybe, who knows. But does that mean that they should not be considered, as useful criticism? I think maybe they are. I do think a lot of people are going around trying to get people to end her business because of what she did to Thunderfoot, but I don't think we should be doing that. I don't think so. But You reap what you sow, Christy, you reap what you sow. And she continues, in fact, I saw a screenshot of Phil's own fake review and 1-star rating. Oh really? Did you? Are you going to give us evidence? Are you going to give us this link? I'm still waiting. And then Sucker Me Off responds, he did no such thing. He merely included a screenshot in the video. She doxed herself, you insane social justice warrior. And Christy responds, can you address the Yelp doxing attack? And then says the same thing to Nicasia. Can you address the Yelp doxing attack? No, the burden of proof is not on us. You're the one who accused Thunderfoot of this. Please, give us your evidence. Oh wait, it's pedantic. Sorry, Steve. And, you know, this is what they will do. They will say something that demands evidence, but then say that you need to give them the evidence. Which is stupid. It's typical social justice warriors, people. And then she ends it with someone's Irish name, Dubgalas. I'm sorry if maybe it's Douglas, I think. Maybe Dubgalas. But, oh well. Can you address the Yelp doxing attack? Again, that is not all like a letter sent by email. Oh dear, oh dear. Christy, you're not doing well at defending your point of view and Laughing Witch. You're making a laughing stock of yourself and her. You're making everything worse. 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 And I think that's it for now, people. I think that's all we need to see from Christy. Sorry that I couldn't add her video, but the time is pressing and I must get to the juicy bits. And now we get to the juicy bits, people. We get to the two main allies of Laughing Witch. And this just happens to be Jenny McDermott and Kevin Logan. But first, Jenny McDermott. Now, Jenny released a video to defend Laughing Witch. It's quite long, so I'll be going through the main points of the video. So, without further ado, let's do this.
Another sad and embarrassing day for the YouTube manosphere is upon us.
Well, I guess Thunderfoot has been downgraded from a Nazi sympathiser to a MRA now, isn't it? I mean, funny how they always have to make people who aren't part of the manosphere MRAs, etc., etc., by including them into it for some reason. Isn't that so silly, people? Isn't that just weird why they always have to do that?
Grown adult and chemist Dr. Philip Mason, also known as Thunderfoot, has harassed another woman online. Only this time, it hit a little too close to home. Here's a chronological chart that will more accurately describe the situation taking place at current.
Notice how she has to try and flip it around and say that it was Thunderfoot who harassed Laughing Witch and not the other way around. This is classic bullying, people. This is what people used to do in high school. Isn't this ironic that she takes jabs at Thunderfoot's mental state and his maturity, yet she's the one using these high school bullying tactics? Oh, hi Jenny, by the way. Looking lovely in the black and white and the new hairstyle.
First, Thunderfoot attacks and harasses feminists and a feminist media critic, Anita Sarkeesian. He harasses her by constantly making videos where he says libelous things about her, such as she is a liar, a con artist, and has somehow received a degree but is an idiot. It isn't just that, though. He makes these videos for a very large audience, and some of them have over 1 million views. The regular viewers watch and then travel between Twitter and YouTube, harassing Sarkeesian and making other videos parodying the things Thunderfoot has made up. This results in death and rape threats daily and a bomb threat received at a speaking engagement.
Oh, no hint of irony there, my love, eh? No hint of irony that Laughing Witch was the one that was doing the constant videos about Thunderfoot and Sargon. You know, Thunderfoot may make videos on Anita when it's topical, but I've never seen him do it constantly, you know, 4 videos a day, for like 10, 15 videos a week about one person like Laughing Witch does. And also, I'd love to give you this pedantic response here, but please, I'd like some pedantic evidence. Sorry, Steve, on how he's been harassing these people and how he gets his followers and his hate army to do so. I'm sorry, but what can be asserted with evidence can be dismissed without evidence, my love.
Next, a bunch of feminists and an ape who happens to be extremely gifted at satire and parody made videos disagreeing with him, and people took it upon themselves to write and send letters questioning Mason's behavior to his employer.
More like trying to get him fired, hell, even arrested. But, you know, we can't let facts get in the way of this, can we?
How do people know where Thunderfoot works, or his real name? He doxed himself years ago in fear that he was going to be doxed by Dawa Films. And anyone who wants to search for a Thunderfoot video online can also find his wiki page, which provides a link to his place of employment, as well as a phone number, email, and exact location.
Trying to justify the shitty behaviour, Jenny. It won't make you look as pretty as you already do in this video, but, you know.
Although the letters were sent over a year ago, and Thunderfoot addressed the letters then, he has for some reason decided to revisit the protest letters and settle old scores.
If they weren't sent a year ago, you can try and lie as much as you like. But the fact of the matter is that this was a very recent thing that you guys had concocted. And now, you're in damage control.
He made a video reading the old letters and has now made another video where he dehumanizes the individuals involved by simply calling us Sarkeesian supporters.
Funny how Zenistrad, just before, when he basically made her look like an idiot when he was trying to say, oh, she didn't dox herself. I mean, she didn't know that when she put her details out there, this was going to happen to her. I mean, how's that different to him calling you a Sarkeesian supporter, which is not dehumanising you, he's just telling the truth. You are, and these are Sarkeesian supporters, and earlier on in your video, you literally just use Sarkeesian as a reason to try and get him fired, just because he makes videos about her. You're a muppet, but a sexy muppet.
He wants to get his Anita haters all worked up and ready to harass again.
You see, that could be labelled as slander and libel and defamation. You know, I mean, you've got no evidence to support these spurious accusations.
Phil is the ultimate manipulator. He is playing the victim hardcore, and supposedly all in the name of free speech.
Oh, the irony, Jenny. Oh, the irony. The irony of that statement. The only person here, persons, playing the victim is Laughing Witch and you lot.
Free speech that led him to Flag Bewildered Ape's video where he reads the letter.
How do you even know that that was him? That could have been somebody else who thought that Bewildered Ape had crossed this line that YouTube states and decided that, yeah, he needed to be reported. You don't know if Thunderfoot told this person to do that or Thunderfoot did it himself. How do you know?
The same free speech that allowed him to make a video admitting to doing a search for Laughing Witch online, and after finding the business she owns and runs, doxed her business in his video.
Jenny. You know that it was her who doxed herself and not the other way around. Thunderfoot was using, as I've said before, I told you people will be repeating ourselves. We all know that it was her who sent those details out in the public in the first place. Even Zenistrad admits that. Or at least he had to concede.
And even showed fans how to go to Yelp and leave false negative reviews.
One knows how to do that, Jenny, but he didn't tell him to do it.
But is Philip Mason truly expressing free speech? Or was it free speech originally expressed by Ape and Witch, which has now been censored?
No, Jenny. The only person here who was censored, or at least who was attempted to be censored by, is Thunderfoot. He was the one who nearly had his free speech taken away. And also, let's not forget, the Bewildered Ape has done some pretty stupid things. He said some horrible things. He you know, just look. He said to Karen Strawn, whether or not he was trolling, but he was still being an idiot. That he said, "I'd rape you," and also he accused Thunderfoot of lying about his dad. Yeah, you may claim he's a brilliant satirist and all that, but he isn't. He didn't. He was being true about that, and even you admitted that you thought he was lying until you had to apologise. Laughing Witch chose to delete her Twitter account and to delete her YouTube account because she had to do damage control. She knew it was affecting her business. She knew that she had gone too far. If she thought she hadn't gone too far, if she was truly proud of what she did, she'd have been debating us. But oh no, wait, no. No. Instead, she deleted her comment, everything, and just ran away, and has been telling you guys to defend her. Really, Jenny?
Seeing as the majority of you that cry out for free speech live in the US, I will read some of the standards and practices here. So what is free speech? It comes from the First Amendment and was created to protect religious freedom, free expression in speech, press, and assembly, and freedom to petition the government to compensate you for grievances. The Supreme Court can also decide what is or is not free speech.
We understand what free speech is, Jenny. We're the ones that are trying to stop you guys from censoring us. I think we know American, British, European law. By European law, I mean EU law. We know all our laws when it comes to freedom of speech, Jenny. You don't need to lecture us on it to try and justify your own censorship. While projecting, obviously. There's a lot of Inception shit going on here.
Some of the atheists here on YouTube believe that all speech should be free. But whether these atheists have this belief or not, the fact is free speech is decided upon by the government.
True, but what Thunderfoot did, that's protected.
Online speech, as described by the American Civil Liberties Union, is meant to be as strong as the free speech we see in everyday life.
Then why try to get him arrested? Why try to make him lose his job because of things that he said? You're trying to silence him. Stop lecturing us on free speech and trying to censor us. You're looking like a hypocrite. But anyway, she's lecturing us so much on freedom of speech, we've gotten off topic, which is, oh yes, Laughing Witch, and why you're defending her. So please, get to the point, Jenny. Let's just skip a bit.
So not only is doxing illegal, but online harassment or the freedom to be able to harass people online is extremely limited.
Yeah, but we already know that the person who doxed Laughing Witch was Laughing Witch. Okay, we get to a bit where she starts talking about censorship and freedom of speech from this stupid article. You know, she's going on this long bullshit lecture on freedom of speech, which we all know about. We all know about this shit. And she's basically trying to use this as a way to excuse what Laughing Witch did and to attack Thunderfoot, despite the fact that the only people here being censorious was her. So this is the bit where she talks about censorship and how, it's not, it's protected and, it's not, well, all our complaints are not valid because of the law, even though it doesn't matter. What they did was still censorship. Trying to get him arrested, lose his job. We all know what they're trying to do, people, but let her speak for herself.
The final and most important thing brought up in the article is censorship. You may say you are being censored when you come across a video that does not allow ratings or comments, or you may claim that you've been censored when a user blocks you or deletes your comment, but you simply aren't. Censorship within the context of free speech refers to free speech that is being acted upon by the government. What you are doing on Twitter is not free speech, and what Twitter users choose to allow is not them censoring your free speech.
For God's sake, Jenny, please. Censorship is not always enacted by the government. It can be enacted by people. The people can censor. We've seen it time and time and again. We've seen social justice warriors, like you, do it on Twitter. Which you say, apparently it's not censorship because it's on Twitter and these people can put whatever they want. They can block you, they can disable ratings, comments, whatever. That is still censorship. It may be censorship with a little c, but it's censorship nonetheless. And what you did to Thunderfoot, or at least what you tried to do, is an example of censorship with a capital C, only from you being the people, because that's taking it a step too far. But never mind. Oh well. Let's just carry on.
I'd like to end this video by giving us all a moment to reflect on the sinking ship that is Dr. Philip Mason. The man who is so innocent of the things he's been accused of, that rather than address those exact instances that were pointed out, like his odd take on the Holocaust that was discussed with Kent Hovind.
So a loaded question posed by Kent Hovind to him, which was trying to catch him out as a Holocaust denier, which he's not, as an attempt to show how moral and superior Christianity is to atheism, is now being used by so-called atheists against another one of their own because they dislike what he has to say about their ideology. So you're basically saying that you're no better than these creationists, Jenny. Is that what you're saying?
Rather than address these accusations, he has made simple one-liners like, yeah, whatever, subtly threatening his opposition twice with doxing, and then actually doxed a woman and fellow feminist on YouTube in order to strike fear into dissenters.
Citation needed, Jenny. Citation needed, because you have no evidence at all to support this claim. I've seen your supposed evidence. It is nothing. It's nothing but spurious hearsay. It's nothing but made up lies. That is all it is. This is basically slander. You could be arrested for this under British law, you know? If you were to say that to someone. In a newspaper, for example.
He is silencing us. He showed followers how to leave bad reviews on Witch's Yelp, and she has received over 100 nasty comments that could harm her business.
No, Jenny, he did not. No, he did not. He did not show them how to do it. He simply showed Laughing Witch what her behaviour can basically boil down to, what it can lead to. And lo and behold, the future was cast. It was predicted to be true, and now she is paying the price for her horrible behaviour. Her business is sinking because of her actions online. It has nothing to do with what Thunderfoot did. It had everything to do with her and your actions, because you were a part of this, don't forget. You're trying to save your own skin.
She shut down her YouTube channel where she was being harassed non-stop into silence.
She wasn't. No, she was not. Give me evidence of this. A few silly reviews on her Yelp page is not an example of harassment. That's an example of people exercising their right as consumers to warn other consumers that this person is a piece of shit and you shouldn't go to her business. I don't think we should have been doing that anyway, because I don't see the point. People are going to do, I don't know. I don't think we should end her business just because she's tried to fire Thunderfoot from his career. But, whatever. Who cares? I can understand why people did it. But no, she was not harassed into silence. She deleted her channel because she had to do damage control, because her business was getting the results of what she had been doing on the internet, which is basically her horrible behaviour towards people like Sargon and Thunderfoot and Felfop returns. And basically, it's just karma is a bitch, man. Karma is a bitch. She tried to get someone fired, and this is what happens when you try and get someone fired for spurious reasons. Your business suffers because now nobody can trust you. No one can trust your business. She deleted it so nothing could happen, so the dust can settle, and then she can come back and do what she does once everything has calmed down a bit. She was not harassed into silence. She silenced herself. She made that decision. She could have not deleted it. She could have, kept on making those stupid boastful videos that she did, saying, oh, I can't be fired. I'm fireproof. I'm sack-proof. You can't sack me. I'm the boss. I did right. I did good. I did a good thing. Thunderfoot deserved it because he's not actually any of these things that we accused him of. We just disagree with what he has to say and he has to go. I'm sorry, but that is not harassment. That is not silencing her. That is her creating damage control.
And she shut down her Twitter account where she was harassed all day into silence.
See my last point.
It is obvious that Thunderfoot is already a remorseless, dark pit of self-loathing, but you all know better. If Thunderfoot didn't want his work contacted, he should have never filmed videos while at work representing his company.
But no, he isn't, is he? It's all projection. It's all bullshit. But anyway, people. She repeats the same lies that we're going to see in the next and final subject, Kevin Logan. So, without further ado, let's continue. Oh, wait, oh, I'm sorry, Jenny. I didn't go through the whole video. What are you going to do? So, Exhibit A, the man of the hour, the White Knight who has come to save Laughing Witch. Think of this as no other than the highest thing I could possibly give to this guy. He's got top billing. He's saved for last. And this is Kevin Logan, as I've said before. And this is quite an interesting one, because he's been doing it on Twitter. He has been constantly on Twitter for the last couple of days, defending Laughing Witch, defending what she did, what she said, attacking Thunderfoot. He even debated with Thunderfoot and got absolutely murked. It's beautiful to watch. Even I had to go in and say, Kevin, please, you're an idiot. So now we'll look at his video and basically, like I did last time, look at the main points, the best moments, and basically, say why he was wrong. And then we'll end it there. Well, I've just got to get prepared, guys, because this is going to be quite good. This is going to be really amazing. Oh, I needed that. And I'm going to need more of it.
Okay, well, two YouTube atheists called The Laughing Witch and Bewildered Ape sent a letter to Thunderfoot's employer explaining who he was and his internet activities, and said, "Are you happy with your employee doing this thing?" Right, and that was like a year ago. And then
Sure, it was a year ago, but it's alright. They only went and emailed his employer. No harm in that. Nothing wrong. I mean, they're just warning the employer of what he's been up to with his internet activities.
Thunderfoot, a couple of days ago, released a video saying what bitch Laughing Witch was or whatever.
No, Kevin. Actually, it was about what she did was wrong. It was about her internet activities, to say what you say. And basically calling her out for the bullshit that she's been up to. That's why.
And then last night, I think it was, he released another video duck dropping her and her company, the company she runs, which I won't reveal the details of that. But
yes, Kevin, why bring up all the details? Who needs details when we've got an agenda to push? You see, as I've said before, people, and I know I told you we're going to be treading old ground, but this is Kevin Logan, and we have to get through this. And basically, what he says is wrong. She doxed herself in that video that Thunderfoot quoted. It's her with the handheld camera, not Thunderfoot. It's her who basically accidentally doxed herself. So please, Kevin, cut the crap and the lies just because you want to get laid. I mean, you want to defend feminism, you know. I mean, you know, what do I know? I'm just drinking cider here, you know.
And the Yelp.com page for that company. And so a lot of his followers, his 400,000, even though he says specifically in the thing, I don't run a hate campaign, I don't run an army of hateful people, he then sends his army of hateful people to that Yelp page, and they left negative reviews and 1-star reviews, and basically tried to fuck her company up.
Oh, really, Kevin? Really? Really? You see, this is the problem with you guys. You always have to resort to the dishonesty and the lies. Yes, he said he didn't have an army. He doesn't have an army. He has 400k subs. He didn't tell them to go and do it, because that implies that these people who sub to him don't have any agency. They can only do things when he tells them to. This is how this works. This is how your side of the story works. I'm a subscriber to him. I basically have to have no agency. I have to basically be some kind of drone that he, picks the controller up and tells me what to do. Then I go and make silly reviews on her Yelp.com page. This is how it has to work. But it doesn't work like that. People chose to do it. He didn't tell them to. They chose to do it. He may not have. Maybe he shouldn't have put that Yelp page up on his video. But hey, at least we can understand why he did it. Because, she bloodied his nose, he bloodied hers back. Only it turns out that it was a lot more top keck than we could possibly imagine. I mean, let's get real for a second, Logan. You're only doing this to score points and favours. You're not here to defend her as such. It's not really about her. It's about you and the ideology and getting up the pecking order, really, isn't it? And even if he did tell them to do it, they had a choice, yes or no. These are not individuals who have no minds, unlike you.
And the 20 plus employees that depend on that company for their wages and incomes, and obviously the families then associated. So we could be talking sort of 50 people's fucking livelihoods essentially being fucked up by Thunderfoot and his hateful mob.
You what, mate? You what? You couldn't give a flying fuck about those people. I've seen your videos. You don't care about people's feelings, apart from your own and your little girlfriend's feelings. You don't give a shit about these people. Since when have you ever cared about people's livelihoods? If you truly cared about these people's livelihoods, you would be denouncing what Laughing Witch did. You would be denouncing what Bewildered Ape did. You would be denouncing what Jenny McDermott did. Because we're all at it. What, were you at it too? Did they ask you to go and send letters or not? That's what I want to know. Besides, isn't it odd that of all people, it's you who is trying to extend the olive branch? Well, Isn't that just ironic?
And so I spent my lead up to this was going to the Yelp.com page and flagging down those negative reviews.
Because, like the drone that you actually are, you had to basically be told to quick damage control, Kev, damage control, quick, 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 damage control. Because it's all part of what you guys do. You fuck up, you have to damage control the individual who fucked up, or the whole collective had to fuck up. You know, none of you really have minds of your own. You're just a fucking hive mind. This is just you guys fucking up. You're trying to save face by defending her. But she didn't save face when she deleted her channel, did she? But, you see, we'll be getting into that in a minute, won't we?
Which hopefully they will be removed, because they should be, because it's clearly and obviously a case of bullying, harassment.
I thought you were a potato head, but it may turn out that you're actually a bee, Kevin. All the buzzwords have come flying out already. Bullying, harassment. Oh, I need another drink. Here's a drinking game for you guys, right? Here's a drinking game. Every time they use those buzzwords, all the shit that they've been saying constantly for the last couple of years, take a sip, like this. Like so. There you go. That's me lecturing to you how to drink alcohol. So, anyway, where were we? Ah, yes. The only person here who is truly being a bully and an harasser is Laughing Witch. Laughing Witch. Jenny McDermott and Bewildered Ape to all the other people who did that letter campaign, whenever it was. You know, you can claim that it was a year ago. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I have an inkling that it was actually quite recent. But regardless of that, you are the bully. You are the one trying to remove his job. You are the one trying to get him arrested for Nazism. He's not a Nazi. He did not deny the Holocaust. You're using creationist arguments against him. I know this because I've seen that debate with Kent Hovind. That was a loaded question trying to set him up. But, you know, it's okay to use creationist arguments when someone disagrees with you on one ideological difference. Who cares if he's an atheist? Who cares if he's one of us? He's not really one of us. He's not part of Atheism Plus. I mean, intersectional atheism. Eh, Kev?
These people, you had people from Brazil and Britain and Australia and California.
No matter where they're from, it just shows how much outrage that she sparked because of her behaviour. And this is what happens when you do this shit on the internet and when you dox yourself on the internet, Kev. You're not that dumb. I say that, but...
In the short term, Laughing Witch has had to close her YouTube and Twitter pages. So well done. Victory for free speech, Thunderfoot.
Oh, take a sip, people. Okay, now, this is an interesting thing. They're trying to twist it into saying that he was trying to silence her, when really she only silenced herself so she couldn't embarrass the company that she's a part of. Remember, she's not really the boss. Her husband is the boss, and I reckon they had a little chat, and it went something like this. Jen, I think she was called Jennifer, right? It seems that you have been quite a nuisance on the internet recently. I said some things. I emailed this person and to get him fired, and people don't like it, you know. You idiot! We are now getting a load of bad reviews. Our business could potentially suffer. Delete your account on your Twitter page right now because we need to do damage control. Okay. And that's what happened. Okay? This is what happened. If she was truly, truly not sorry and... Well, she's not sorry. It doesn't matter, does it? If she was truly okay with what she did, if she was truly no regrets, living my life with no regrets, to quote Metallica, do you not think she would not have deleted that channel? She did. She deleted that channel because damage control. She needed to basically wait till the dust settled because she'll be back. You're making it as if it's some kind of victory for us, like it's some kind of disaster of freedom of speech. She did it herself. She has no one to blame but herself.
Prick.
Oh, so salty. Oh, that deserves a sip.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the hypocrisy with him taking up, or basically doing this given what he's claimed has happened, or you know, the way that he's handled?
Hypocrisy. That'll be a good one.
Well, essentially, he's gone down the line of two wrongs making a right.
We go with the false equivalence fallacy people. Take a sip.
he didn't like that, and I wasn't a massive fan of the letter writing campaign.
Such a low fan that you were of hers doing this campaign that you're defending the actions of this individual. Yeah, right. Take a sip, people.
But essentially, he's done something much worse.
Oh, really?
He's, for a start, she didn't duck drop him. All the information that had been released by her was about, like, he worked at the Czech Institute of blah blah blah, and he'd already revealed that. He'd already filmed on location at the fucking place and said that's where he worked.
Straw man fallacy, people. Take a sip. Nobody claimed that she dock dropped him, but that she dock dropped herself, you muppet. Now look, Mr. Potato Man, Kevin, look, please, let's get the facts here. She doxed herself, he used the publicly obtained information, which isn't a doxing, that's just using her information that she put out there to show her what happens when you try to do these things to people. And lo and behold, look what happened. He was right. He didn't orchestrate anything. People did it. I don't think he should have showed her Yelp page and everything, but you know what? I understand why he did it, because she'd basically tried to get him arrested and try and get him fired. So, two wrongs, yeah, they don't make a right. But at least we can say, yeah, we think he shouldn't have done that, but we understand why he did it. Again, I'm using the analogy before. I said to Zenistrad, someone punches you in the face, you punch back. Two wrongs don't make a right, but at least we understand why you punched back.
So he hadn't duck dropped her at all. Whereas that information of the Yelp page wasn't, well, technically the Yelp page is public, but the fact that it was being done by Laughing Witch, or that Laughing Witch was a part, that wasn't connected. And he revealed that to his 400,000 followers.
So he didn't do anything wrong, did he, Kev?
Which is the most dickish move you can do on the internet, is to dock drop somebody.
But it's the most dumb thing ever in the history of the internet to dock drop yourself, isn't it? He didn't do shit, and you know it.
Because it fucks up their private life completely. Because that, I mean, like I say now, she's had her freedom of speech removed from her, in essence. Well, technically not, in the sense that Thunderfoot and his followers clearly don't understand what freedom of speech actually is, which is essentially a contract between you and the government, saying the government won't infringe on your right to speak, whereas YouTube doesn't owe you anything.
Take a sip, people. He just took it out of the notebook that everyone's been given. These are the lists of arguments to use against Thunderfoot and his evil hate army and allies. Right, okay, let's get this out of the way. This is a minefield. I'm going to make sure Kevin blows up every single step. Okay, so he didn't dox her, as we said before. He didn't remove her freedom of speech. She removed it. We didn't do anything. She's doing damage control. She's the one who decided that, you know what, I don't want to look worse than I already am, and I'm going to basically just quit the internet for a bit, wait for it all to blow over, because it hasn't blown over just yet. It's getting keckier and keckier. And look, you can say that freedom of speech is a contract between us and the government. I think it's not. Just because it's enshrined in law does not mean it's a contract between the people and the government. The people fought hard to say what they want to say, because we need to. We need this freedom of speech to stop that government from gaining too much power. And also, yes, freedom of speech is not just between us and the government. It's also between us, companies like YouTube, companies like Coca-Cola, etc., etc. We all have freedom of speech. We can all use it. It's an inalienable right. It says it in the US Constitution. It also says it in our unwritten British Constitution that it is our inalienable right. You can say all you want, but it isn't anything to do with government insofar as they're basically policing what we are allowed to say. Really, it's not so much you have the freedom of speech. Okay, we do. No, this is what you're allowed to say within reason. But really, we can say whatever we want. We just have to expect the consequences. So no, it does apply to things on YouTube. You know, it's funny how you mention shit like that. But Reddit, YouTube, well, Reddit back in the old days, Reddit, YouTube, 4chan, 8chan, etc., etc., all pride themselves on their free speech platform. They are free speech platforms by their very nature, Kevin. It's how you and me can do this shit. Because of freedom of speech. That's nothing to do with government. That's to do with YouTube. Sure, they can delete whatever they want. But that still doesn't make it right, does it?
Now, some people have argued that Thunderfoot did not dox Laughing Witch because she had made the information, or her email anyway, available in a video she did in January, I believe. But it is doxing because it isn't just that the information is public; it's that it was incredibly obscure information which gets brought to a much bigger light.
Take a sip, people. He's trying to redefine words. No, Kevin, that is not what doxing is. Full stop. There. Next.
Virtually no one really, by the standards of Thunderfoot's subscriber base, had seen the original video.
Asserted things he couldn't possibly prove. Take a sip. I know he has 400,000 subs, mate. I think a few of them would have seen her video. Whether or not it's for some masochistic desire or, some kind of, I don't know, morbid curiosity to see what she's been up to. But people did see it. People did see it. How can you say that none of us saw it until he showed it us? It's all bullshit, mate.
And so he decided to not only publicise that information, but went to the Yelp page for her business and encourage, in a sort of wink, I'm going to pretend that I don't want people to go there style, but yet encouraging his army of fucking drone zombie pricks to go there and harass the shit out of her.
Take a sip, people. Yet more lies. You know what? Have you ever thought of becoming a projectionist? Because you've got fascinating and amazing projection skills, Kevin. No. He did not say, go ahead and do it, but I'm not saying I'm doing it. This is getting more of your tinfoil hat conspiracy theories coming up to the surface, as usual. Just like when you tried to say to Sargon's face, within, technological limits, that he is a right-winger pretending to be a left-winger. This is yet more of your tinfoil hat potato conspiracies. Please, Kevin. Drop it. Nobody believes you apart from your own stupid allies. Yeah, you are not a feminist. You are an ally to those people. That's not me saying that you're not a feminist. That's them. So, it's funny how you say that we're a lot of mindless drones. And like I said, people, in order for his argument to work, we have to be mindless drones, but we're not. He's the drone. He's the one who literally just said the same thing that everybody else had just said, and apparently we're the drones. Take a sip, people. Projection.
Which they duly did. They went and even though they hadn't used that business's services, they had went there and left negative reviews and 1-star reviews and all of that, and effectively tried to destroy her company.
Just how, like, your friends tried to destroy his career and his life by reporting him to the police and to his employers. Take a sip, people. Hypocrisy. And they sent one letter review to a business they've never been to. Who knows? Maybe it will actually help the public. You don't know that. But then again, I don't either. But I would hope so. I want some of that pedantic evidence, Kevin. Sorry, Steve. Take a sip, people. What can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Oh, what's wrong, Kevin? She didn't want those pizzas. Again, people, same as before.
Which is fucking doxing, okay? That's what that is.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
And in doing so, Phil has endangered the employment of 20 plus people who are employees of that company, which again is doxing and bullying and fucking harassment.
No, it's not. Again, I've said before, you don't give a rat's ass about these people's jobs. You only care about the agenda. This is a triple whammy, people. Take 3 sips. Whoa! That was great. What else did he say? Oh yes, yeah, it's not harassment or anything like that. Sure, these people have been doing these things of their own accord. They shouldn't really be doing it. But at the end of the day, she asked for it. Oh, I triggered you. I just triggered you just then. Oh, he said it. He said it. Whoa.
Now, he's made 2 videos about her in the last few days, and in the latest one, the doxing one, he says that it's not his intention to destroy these people. Now, by these people, he means, I think, anyone who he doesn't like, basically.
Well, you guys apparently do the same thing, but it's okay when you do it, isn't it? I mean, you see, what he really means is he intends for you to destroy yourselves, which is what Laughing Witch just did. Let it be known, people, that they will destroy themselves. And that's a celebratory one.
But that's clearly a fucking lie, because that's precisely what he's doing in that video, trying to destroy Laughing Witch and the 20 plus employee, the livelihoods of the 20 plus employees at that company.
You don't give a shit about them. He's not trying to do that. You are asserting without evidence. So, yeah, I guess it really is a sip again. Oh.
And why is he doing this? Well, he's doing it, I think, to make money and to play the fucking victim.
Oh, good one, Kevin. I didn't know you were a comedian. I mean, I know it was unintentional. Jesus Christ, have you ever thought about being an improvisational comedian? You could be the next Robin Williams. Take a sip, people. Projection, Sargon's Law. I think that means 2, doesn't it? 1. 2. I just spilt it.
He's literally playing the professional victim at this point, which is ironic because he used Anita Sarkeesian in the title of the video and also in the thumbnail for the video for no fucking reason. She had nothing to do with the story whatsoever.
What's ironic is you're being ironic. Holy shit, people. 2 sips. 1. 2. Anyway, she had a lot to do with it, mainly because these were her fans going after him. So yeah, and no, he's not playing the professional victim. If he was going to play the professional victim, wouldn't he have asked people to, oh my god, look, these people attacking me? No, instead he mocked them relentlessly. That is not what a victim does, mate.
So Thunderfoot and his army of misogynist dickheads have driven another atheist female from the community, a community that is vastly lacking in females in the first place. And in the video he says, well, I don't command an army, and then commands an army to go and harass people. And in the past he said, well, I'm not a misogynist, but yet he's driven another female atheist from the atheist community here on YouTube.
You know, Thunderfoot has one thing going that actually has more than one thing. But he has a lot of things going for him, and there's one in particular that he has that you don't have, Kevin. And that is originality. You see, our Kev, he does nothing but basically spout the same bullshit that people like Steve Shives and Jenny McDermott and all the others spout. He's just the mindless drone here. That's all he really is. And that deserves a sip. So, yeah, basically, all that stuff he's talking about is bullshit. I also distinctly remember Laughing Witch saying that she wasn't an atheist. She's become an atheist now, all of a sudden, because, oh, now this is linked to the whole atheism plus thing. Then name me one actual atheist who has been run off of YouTube thanks to Thunderfoot and his hate army, because I've not seen him do that. If anything, it's people like you that do that, and that deserves another sip. But, you know, these people don't give a shit about the facts, do they?
It's ridiculous.
I know, Kev. In it just. Have a sip on me. Oh, it's just so ridiculous, isn't he? Thunderfoot and his hate army. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? Oh, I'm just gonna spout a load of drivel about her. Oh, I can't believe it. He's done it again. I've got to defend her because I'm not gonna get laid this way. I hope this gives me a load of points, man. I hope it does right. Hope you like that, people. That was for you.
Anyway, I apologise for the slightly ranty, angry video that I made here. Hopefully normal service will be resumed.
I'm sorry, but when have you never done a video like that? Just out of, you know, curiosity, because you seem to be nothing but like that. Oh, take a sip, people. Lack of self-awareness. I'm sorry for being really ranty, even though I usually am.
On this channel, and we can have a few laughs and stuff in the future, but I felt I just needed to get that one off my chest. Thank you all for listening. Pip pip.
Yes, we saw what you were up to on Twitter, Kevin. It was top keck. Well, that's it, people. This is the end of this video. I hope the ponage was good enough. See, this is what happens. They turn you to drink, and that can only be the ruin of you, or maybe the creation of some kind of Dr. Random Akamish-like intelligence. He must get his power from the beer, you know. Well, this is cider, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, people, this is my response to their response. Response of a response of a response. It's getting all Inception-like anyway, isn't it? I hope you saw all that they're going to try and do for the next week, or at least the next couple of days. These are all the talking points and the arguments that they have thought up and are just regurgitating. Because it's a hive mind. They're going to repeat themselves like a broken record, and it's up to us to make sure that it doesn't work. And it doesn't work. So, until next time, this has been CharmingMan93. Like and share the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all later. Damn, I think that deserves another sip, don't you think? Yeah, justice.